13 treasures of ancient time, 13 lessons of rule in rhyme. To find the jewels in secret places, follow where the compass faces. If returned from the shore beyond, a new day dawns for Octopon. But if they should fall into evil hands, darkness descends on all the lands. For these riches too shall vie, in the realm of Darkwater, where the treasures lie. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you're about to hear and see has been done in one take. I am your host, the One Take Man. Having been a YouTuber myself for almost 3 years now, I have a theory about YouTubers, or more precisely about most YouTubers. That theory states that most YouTubers, when they start their YouTube career, they have somewhere between 5 or 10 videos that they really want to make, or that they are really, or that they find particularly intriguing and really want to make. And from that short list of around 5 or 10 videos, some are likely to be the first videos they make. Some they are likely to keep on the back burner, either until they find that they have sufficiently honed their craft in terms of how to make videos, or until they have managed to accomplish some other prerequisite. This video, the one you're watching right now, is one of the videos I had on my shortlist. The Pirates of Darkwater is a series that has always fascinated me ever since I can remember first seeing it, because I was intrigued by its unique visual design and its in the distinctive way in which everything moved, the feeling that it managed to convey. Not to mention that the narratives themselves always took some intriguing directions that I didn't really notice in other shows I was watching. Even though I only saw glimpses and fragments of this series, I was always interested in. I was always hooked on it, and have wanted to know as much about this show as possible. Over the past few weeks, as of the time of this video's production, I have managed to finally watch the whole thing, which wasn't actually that much of an effort, but I had other stuff going on. And now that I've finally seen all of the Pirates of Darkwater, I can share my impressions on it. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the subject of today's video, the Pirates of Darkwater is a short-lived epic pirate fantasy series produced by Hanna-Barbera. The premise of this show is that young Prince Ren, after learning that he is in fact the son of a king, sets out to continue or pursue his father's quest. A quest which requires he should gather 13 gems known as the treasures of rule. Gems which have certain magic or empathic properties. And the goal of his quest is to restore his father's kingdom to its former glory, as well as keep his world, the world of Mer, M-E-R, Mer, from being overrun by a substance called dark water, which seems to consume and kill everything that it touches. Joining Ren on his quest is Nibbler, a monkey bird, a sapient fantasy creature, Ayaz, a pirate Ren manages to persuade to join him on his adventure, and Tula, a young adventurer who reveals herself to be full of surprises. Pursuing him in his quest and trying to stop him is Bloff, a pirate captain who commands what I can only describe as a giant living fortress, who wants the treasures of rule because they are treasures and he is a pirate. there's nothing too complex about his motivations, unless you go into various interpretations. That in and of itself sounds like an interesting plot or an interesting setup for a series. One that would allow a lot of exploration, a lot of adventure, and maybe even a lot of action pieces. And I will say that this show actually manages to explore this plot or this setup in a variety of different ways. Initially, Pirates of Darkwater was a 5-episode miniseries, which featured a lot of interconnected storylines with a lot of twists and turns, weaving, going in between all of its episodes. Once Hanna-Barbera picked it up, they commissioned 8 more in order to have 8 full animation seasons, and within those further 8 episodes, there was something of a shift from the episodic storytelling to from the interconnected storytelling, and with not just the main quest, but various sub-narratives that weave in and out of focus within various episodes, to a more traditional villain, monster, or simply complication of the week type episodes. To be fair, both of these stories, or both of these story formats, can present interesting narratives and ideas, and both of them can be vessels or vehicles for thrilling and engaging both dynamic set pieces and character pieces. However, that is not what has happened here, and the show, in transitioning from a series with multiple interconnected storylines to a villain of the week kind of show, lost a lot of its creative drive and narrative vision, as the main quest was put much more often on hold, and instead the various tropes were included within the world. Those tropes, again, not in and of themselves bad, but the stories that had to be told through their inclusion were not really stories that could challenge the characters in any meaningful way, and therefore did not reveal anything new or intriguing or really exciting about them. They were not as interesting or as eye-catching as they really could be, because, and even though, it's it would actually be fine if the main quest was suspended if what the showrunners inserted instead of the main quest did actually further other parts of the story, like expanding upon the world or exploring various character arcs, and that is not what this show did, unfortunately. While it did manage to include some interesting ideas within itself, it ultimately was unable to really transcend the storytelling conventions of its day, and it was less than capable of really creating its own distinctive narrative style that would really allow it to be be remembered for generations to come, the same way something like Avatar: The Last Airbender is. It really only had its pretty good animation and unique designs to stand on. Unfortunately, it took a lot to maintain this style and this design, which made the show itself very very expensive to produce, to the point where Hanna-Barbera decided to pull the plug after only 2 seasons. The second season, which the second season was cut short at only 8 episodes long. Unfortunate, but shit happens. Nevertheless, it's a unique visual style, as well as the actual good episodes it did give this show a something of a lasting legacy, and it did. And for the past 30 years, ever since this series came to an end, there's almost continuously been talk of either a potential continuation or reboot. Having seen all of it, I have to say I see a lot of that same potential, and I can recognize that there is a lot to this premise that can still be explored, and can be explored in very meaningful and maybe even exciting ways. And so much so to the extent that I actually want to throw my hat in the ring now. So join me next time, when I will be talking about a potential Pirates of Darkwater reboot. Until then, however, thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, maybe even share it wherever you think other people will like the video as well. If you have anything you'd like to add, either to my overview or to the series itself, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video, the one where I'll talk about a reboot, and maybe the ones after that, get released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. I also have a main channel where I talk about book-related and literature topics, a link to which you will find in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. If you do, you'll also find a Patreon link listed down there, in case you want to support me more directly, and maybe receive perks such as early access to videos and scripts. Until next time, I have been the One Take Man.